Yo, so I have a confession to make. I am a bully and I've ruined someone's childhood. And a lot of my life, I've been trying to portray this good guy image and would hide a lot of the things that I'm ashamed of that I had done in the past. And it has eaten me up inside to always avoid these situations, these topics, and to let that anger, disappointment, regret, guilt just manifest itself in my life and really take control of it. And I just want to do this confession to let it off my chest and hopefully it inspires someone else to do the same and be okay with revealing the mistakes you made in your life because, like Michelle Obama said, you got to make your mess your message. The situation I want to talk about happened in elementary school, and the dude was a smart ass dude, like top of the class. But the only thing was that he was different from everyone else because he wore a turban. And all this shit started when 9/11 happened. And as kids, we're so easily influenced. So the media showed Osama bin Laden wearing a turban, Middle Eastern, and we just associated all those characteristics as a terrorist. We called him a terrorist. That was the sound we would make, like a rabid animal, like he actually acted like that. We publicly shamed him in front of everyone, laughed at him, bullied him, made him not feel welcomed, and told him to go back to his country when, shit, I'm an immigrant myself. He would be reading a book by himself during lunch instead of going outside to play. And we would go out of our way to mess with him, ridicule him, call him Turban Boy, pick on him for being alone and a nerd for reading. The fucked up part was the teacher didn't even stop it or even knew about it. So whenever we were doing this shit and a teacher would walk by, we would just act like everything was cool and he wouldn't say shit. Damn. He probably felt alone, depressed, no one to talk to, scared, and just tortured every day, trying to get an education, trying to make a better life for him and his family who immigrated here. But he tried to be strong. He didn't fight back or talk back. He just kept to himself. And shit, what I regret the most, I was the chief instigator because I wanted to fit in. I always thought if anyone ever fought him, I would be there to protect him because I knew deep down in my heart what I was doing was wrong. But I chose the wrong path because of fear. I didn't really have any friends. And when I saw an opportunity to be part of a pack, to feel accepted, to feel belong, to feel like I was a cool guy, I took that because I wasn't strong enough to stand up for what was right, to protect someone in need, to say what my values are, and to go against everyone else knowing that I knew being there for him was the right thing to do instead of everyone going against him and being empathetic towards him and compassionate and saying that not all people, what the media say, is true. And this idea that you all have that just because he wears a turban, he's a terrorist, is fucked up. And it's not right. And it was like, man, we did some fucked up shit. Like, put bugs in his turban, pull on the top of it, trying to take it off. And I remember this is like the worst situation. This is what really gets me is I remember I pushed him on the ground because it was a similar situation like that movie Moonlight where the dude's best friend gets peer pressured by everyone else to punch him and he ends up punching him even though he doesn't want to, and you could see like he just felt anxious about it. And that's how I felt was when these people told me to push him, get him back for all that his people have done to us Americans. I got anxious. I knew it was wrong. I didn't want to do this. I felt, the verbal ridicule wasn't as bad as the physical. And a million thoughts were going in my head of should I do it? Should I not do it? But I ended up choosing the coward route and doing it. My heart was racing. He was just sitting there on the playground getting ready to play kickball. And I just went up to him and pushed him on the ground. And the crazy part is he finally fought back. He got up, pushed me. We got in a tussle that ended up us both getting in trouble by the teachers and being put in detention. I did all that shit, hurt someone, just because I was looking for acceptance for people that I don't even talk to this day. Like people that I don't want to be around. Like I did not want to be around bullies, but when you're alone and desperate and just want to feel like you belong, you lose yourself. And I felt so much regret, so much guilt, and disappointed myself that he had to deal with this bullshit every day for 2 years, and I was a big part of it. For the longest time, I wished that he was successful and laughing in our faces, that he was happier and better off than all of his abusers, had all the friends in the world. I wish I could see him again to apologize during that time period after elementary school. And in a way, I wanted to punish myself and hope good things for him as a way for me to repent, to get rid of this guilt, to kind of move forward with my life and feel at peace that the universe gave him what he deserved. And that's happiness for dealing what he had to deal with. And then finally, 15 years later, I got my wish. I saw him. Can't forget that face. It was on the bus. And I realized he lived by me this whole time. We took the same bus for 15 years and we just never crossed paths. This thing that was holding me down, that I regretted and wanted to get closure for, I wanted to apologize to him. He looked meek, unconfident, kind of sad. I was so anxious, thinking about what to say, if anything. In my head, I was making excuses of why I shouldn't approach him, like maybe that's not him, or maybe he forgot you, or maybe it wasn't that big of a deal to him, and I would just be opening up wounds again. But something compelled me inside to say, fuck it, fuck those excuses. And I just went up to him and I said, hey, do you remember me? How are things? What are you studying these days? And I remember each answer he would give me was one word answers, like he didn't want to talk to me. And then finally I ripped the band-aid off and I said, hey man, I'm sorry for everything that we done to you in elementary school, and especially me and all the things that I did. And I just wanted to let you know that I was wrong. And I wish I could take it all back. And of course, he was a big person and said, it's all right. We were just kids. And I said, nah, man, what I did to you, bullying, that's not okay. And I really am sorry. And in a way, that's how I got sort of closure as well, was just being able to give him that he wasn't wrong, that nothing was wrong with him and it was all me and how fucked up I was. And that I robbed myself of an experience because I feared everyone would turn on me and pick on me if I were to stand up for him, if I was to be his friend, if I wasn't weak and a follower. Like I would look back on it and I would feel good about it. But instead, I chose the coward route. And after saying I was sorry and that I can't change the past, the the only other way I found peace was just to use that regret that I felt to guide me in the future. And I feel like that's what regret and guilt and disappointment, why we feel those negative feelings, is because it guides us in the future to make the decisions to not encounter that again and realize that we are human and that we don't want to hurt people. And for me, in this case, it's standing up for what is right and my values, even if everyone is against it. Being confident and strong in myself to do that. Love all people no matter how different or what other people say. To be there for someone in need. To be compassionate towards other and to never bully someone and make them feel less than, and treat others the way you want to be treated. Now, I don't know where he is today. Haven't seen him since. But sometimes I search on Google, hopefully to see him as a CEO of some company, because he really does deserve that happiness. And I hope that all the shit that he dealt with in childhood doesn't hold him back, because he's a smart ass dude and amazing heart and just an inspiration to be able to survive all the things that he had to deal with and to show kids around the world that you can survive and don't let the past define who you're going to be. Be strong. So he's definitely inspired me to be a better person, more compassionate, and to help others in need. And that's where I would find peace, by being a better me. So thank you.